So I've been thinking of new videos to post for YouTube, and one of them, I'm not sure if anyone else has done a video like this, but I'm a writer. I've said it before, and I have multiple books on. It's called WattPad. It's WattPad.com. And it's like a forum for like people who have books that they've written or like fan fiction kind of things, for TV shows, books, other things. And so I thought that maybe I would show you guys the process that I go through in writing and editing one of my books. So this one book that I have. I think I'm not sure how many chapters I have. Let me look. I have about 15 chapters posted. I do have more. I have the whole book written, but I wasn't getting a lot of views on it, so I just kind of stopped posting it. Um, but I thought maybe if I shared it on YouTube, maybe you guys would find some interest in it, and maybe we'll just go over there and just start reading it. If not, it's fine, but I thought it would be a really fun idea to share because it's already on here, so I figured why not just try to share it on YouTube and maybe get like other people's opinions on it and stuff like that. If there's things that people have questions about or want to change or are unsure about, to help me improve my writing. And so I thought it would be really fun to go ahead and read some of it, and kind of show you how I go through editing. And I've probably read this book a million times, but every single time you read it, there's something else that has to be edited. So I figured I would go through it and show you my process of like how I go about with writing and editing it. So I have the book in a Word document, and then I post, copy and paste one chapter that I have, and I post it into the Wattpad, and then I go through and make my edits in there, and then kind of transfer it back if there's a lot of edits into the Word document. I did download recently the Grammarly app um, on my computer, so I haven't been on here since I've downloaded that. Well, I have, but not for this book. So I thought it would be really fun to go through and see what needs to get edited with that. So I have let me see if I can do this. I'm not used to I'm on my phone right now and I don't have a camera. I might just have to turn the camera to the computer, but on the WattPad thing here, and so I have a memorial thing here, and that's my Nana right there, and that's one of her, I think that's her friend or her sister. To do that, but for my memorial, I have it says for my great uncle Bill and Nana, Patricia Dadson, in memoriam. It says, "Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die." And that's from the Mary Elizabeth Fry. That's one of my absolute favorite quotes, and I think it sums up my great uncle and my Nana's life. They just were just such great people, and they're kind of like free spirits, and they're just the best people ever. And so I had a memoriam for them for my book. I actually started writing this book. It's called Nadia Taylor and the Forbidden Truth, and I started writing that in 2014 and 15, both of those years. And my Nana died in 2015, May of 2015, and so I wanted to create a memoriam for her, as well as my great uncle, because I was very close to him growing up. So I just leave that. I always leave that, but I thought I'd share. I thought it would be fun. So I do have a prologue. Um, so, and I'm gonna leave a link down below for the book, just to show you the picture I have. Which kind of sums up the character. My character, the main character, Nadia, she has a lot of powers, but hers is typically the fire one. And then there is some sort of interest in another boy who has the power of ice. So this is like the picture that I thought sort of summed up. And I'm really sorry about flipping the camera and the phone camera, because I need to get an actual camera, but I haven't been able to do that. So maybe I can. We'll see. But this is what I'm working with right now. So I apologize. So I do have a prologue, and so far I'm kind of like browsing through it real fast, but I don't see. Oh, there's some. It takes a while for the Grammarly edits to come up, but I'm gonna read it, and then we'll see what you guys think. So it's the prologue. Standing in a bright wooden kitchen was a young family, and it's highlighting family. And I'm just gonna leave that. And it says a family full of love and hope. But like every family, they had their secrets. Dark secrets that kept them hidden from the rest of the magical community forests away from their house. The couple's daughter, Nadia, was 3 years old. She was stubborn and always seemed older than her actual age. She was well spoken. I'm fixing it as I go through. She was well spoken and always excelled in things like walking, crawling, and talking very early on. By 7 months old, she was walking without any trouble. But now she stood in the kitchen with her arms crossed over her chest in a huff. And the reason why I did the 7 months walking, my younger brother was walking by 7 months. So it is possible for people who out there are saying they can't do that. It's possible. And like the kids in my family, like for me and my younger brother, like we were very tiny kids, like size-wise, we were very tiny, but we had very strong arms and legs. So I thought I would instill that in my character, and I do have my cup of coffee here. So I'm going to probably be drinking that because I know I'm going to need it. So I'll just continue reading. But I wanted to share that little story with you guys. I figured maybe if like I say that, maybe you guys, sort of be interested in the storylines and stuff like that, and kind of give you like my side as to why I decided to write that. Um, so, um, so I just want one cookie before dinner. What's so wrong with that? Nadia sulked. You can have a cookie after dinner, Nadia. Why don't you go feed the chickens while you wait? Her mother, 21-year-old Nicola, suggested. Oh, great, Nadia replied to her mother with sarcasm. Making her way from the kitchen to the front door, she shoved her little cowgirl boots on. The chickens get to eat, but I have to starve, she finished before walking out the front door. Nicola couldn't help but smile at the cute frustration her daughter held. She's your daughter, Nadia's father, 21-year-old David, replied with a smirk. I know, she said happily. Moody or not, I'll keep her, she laughed, walking to the front door. I'll start supper, David smiled, kissing her on the cheek before heading to the refrigerator. Opening the front door, Nicola made her way to the barn to help Nadia get the chicken feed, but it wasn't until something frightening caught her eye that she started running towards it. David! She exclaimed, running towards the barn. There in front of her was the barn, caught on fire, the violent flames blazing in fierce determination. She watched as the large fire rose higher and higher. Inside the barn, outside the barn, and even the chicken coop near the fire burned with the fire. Hay bales engulfed one another in fire as it spread, moving fast. So it highlighted fire. So what I did was I said hay bales engulfed one another in the fire as it spread, moving fast. Bolting out the front door, David watched. And I gotta fix that to watch. Let's see. Bolting out the front door, David watched Nicola disappear in the smoky barn. Racing towards the smoke, David used his powers, creating a large gust of wind, blowing out the fire. Nadia, Nicola, David screamed, looking for his daughter and wife in the smoke-filled barn. Searching the barn, he found them curled up together near the back doors, both resting against the back doors of the barn. Nicola, can you hear me? David pleaded, shaking his shoulders. She wasn't moving. Both laying against the doors, unmoving. Reaching out, he checked Nicola's pulse, only to find a low heartbeat. Feeling Nadia's, he noticed she too had the same heartbeat. Sitting on the floor, both girls were wrapped in each other's arms. As quickly as the fire happened, David felt a figure standing behind them. Turning slowly, he saw a young boy had arrived. He was around 5 years old. His eyes were a bright light blue, while his hair was dark and wavy. Spencer, David greeted softly in tears. Did your mother send you? With a small nod, the boy lifted his arms over Nicola and Nadia. Mom said it wasn't their time. Not yet anyway, he replied, his soft voice as his eyes scanned over Nadia's figure. Holding back a small gasp, David watched Spencer. Daddy? Nicola's voice croaked out. In seconds, Spencer had moved back as David engulfed both girls in his arms. Oh, thank God, David exclaimed. Oh my God, is she okay? Nicola cried, shifting under David to get a good look at Nadia. Yes, David replied, pulling her into him slightly. You're okay. We're all okay, he replied in reassurance as Nicola cried in his shoulder. Spencer left, and hours had passed, and Nadia had finally passed out in exhaustion on Nicola's lap as she and David had sat on the living room couch. What are we going to do? Nicola whispered. I don't know, David replied hoarsely. It's not safe for her here. Nicola ran a hand through Nadia's bright blonde hair. You can't let her go to school when the time comes. If they see her, they'll kill her, David. You know her power. They won't accept it. Not after Lester Johnson. He burned down an entire city. He's the only other wizard with the power of fire to ever exist. I know. I think I have an idea. Do you remember Walter Taylor? David asked. No, I am not letting her go to New York, to the mortal world. There's millions of miles away from here. Nicola cried in disgust. Nicola, we have no other choice. It's like you said, she can't stay here. But I know, baby. I'm sorry, David replied, moving in front of Nicola. Kneeling on his knees, he kissed Nadia on the cheek. Having no choice, the next day the three of them stood on a dock in front of the school. It was winter break, the perfect opportunity because not another soul was seen in sight. The sun had begun to set the moment they reached the end of the docks. Can I talk to her before you go? Nicola asked David, holding Nadia tightly in her arms. Okay, but we don't have much time. I'll make sure the boat is all set, David replied, giving Nicola a kiss on the cheek and climbing into the boat. Mommy? Nadia asked in confusion. It's okay, sweetie, Nicola said, placing Nadia on the dock, kneeling in front of her. What's going on? Nicola looked from the boat to her mother. You're going to live with a very good friend of ours. His name is Walter Taylor, Nicola explained gently. Did I do something wrong? Is it because of the chickens? I didn't mean to kill them. No, Nicola exclaimed quickly. You've done nothing wrong. I know it was an accident. It's not safe here. Do you remember when I told you that you were special? That your power was one of a kind? Yes, Nadia nodded. There are people here who can't find out about your power. Is this because of my accident by the bar? Nadia interrupted. Yes. I won't do it again, Nicola exclaimed. I'll be a good girl. I won't use my power anymore, she cried. Davy, it's not that easy. Nicola, we must be going, Davy called from the boat. Just give me a minute, Nicola cried out in desperation. Mommy, please don't make me go. I'm so sorry, Nadia began to sob. You've done nothing wrong, my darling. Nicola ran a hand through her blonde hair. Mommy loves you so much, darling. You are so loved by your father and I. You're going to be going to a great place, a safe place. I will always be right here, Nicola pointed to Nadia's heart. Mommy, don't make me go, Nicola cried. Nadia cried, wrapping her arms around her mother's neck. It'll be okay, Nadia, Nicola tried to reassure her. You're so loved, darling. Don't forget that. Be strong for Mommy. Do you know how much we love you? Fixing this real fast. This not much. Nadia managed to through her tears as she held her hands wide apart from one another. Nicholas smiled and nodded. Holding her hands together, she used her powers, creating a bright blue electrical surge of lightning. After the surge was fully charged, she slowly pulled her hands from one another, creating an electrical orb of a heart-shaped image. This much, my darling, Nicola whispered. Nicola, David called out once again. All right, she exclaimed as the orb disappeared. In an instant, she pulled Nadia into her arms, hugging her tight and kissing her on the cheek. Picking her up, Nicola handed Nadia to David in the boat. Goodbye, baby, Nicola murmured before stepping away. David blew Nicola a kiss as the boat started to drift out towards the sea. Mommy, Nadia screamed. Mommy, I'll be good, I promise, I'm sorry. The boat was too far at this point for Nicola to respond, but she could hear Nadia calling out for her over and over. Each time Nadia screamed for Nicola, her heart ached with pain as if she had been stabbed in the chest repeatedly. I love you, my darling, she whispered to herself. With help from above, she raised her hands and used the special magic she was given to from Spencer's mother, Amelia, an angel now in heaven. A bright white glue grew from her hands as the light crossed over the lake straight into Nadia's head. As she pulled Nadia's memories from her head, Nicola's heart sunk into her chest. Was she a bad mother? How could she do this to her own child? Was she doing the right thing? Each question played repeatedly in her head as the tears began to form in her eyes. Once every memory was taken, the white glow flew back into Nicola's hands, creating a bright white orb full of Nadia's memories. In a brief moment, she kissed the top of her hand surrounding the orb before releasing it back over the lake and into the locket around Nadia's neck. Till kingdom come, she whispered. Nicola whispered. Fixing a couple things. That's the first part, and then it continues. So this is still the prologue. He knew the risks. He knew that one day this day might come, but like a coward he ignored it until he could no longer. Looking down at the sleeping 3-year-old he held tight in his arms, he knew that Nadia was the outcome of a forbidden lie that put her life in danger. Traveling through the crowded New Year's Eve streets of New York City, his heart broke with every step. Making his way through the crowd to a nearby apartment building, he headed straight for the penthouse. Through all the noise, he wasn't surprised that the little girl slept peacefully in his arms. She was tired and drained from all that had happened just hours before. Walter! David cried out, banging on the door with light force as soon as he reached the penthouse. David? Walter's rough voice came from the other side of the door. Opening it quickly, he looked at the blonde-haired man in front of him. What happened? I was reading the paper and then suddenly I have these flashes of North Arrington. Memories that came back to me after I remember being told I would soon forget by the council. Memories I know were taken away from me. We have a situation, David began, eyeing the still sleeping girl he held in his arms. We had Spencer, Amelia's son, give you your memories back. Amelia had a son? Walter asked in surprise. Yes, David said, his voice low. We need your help. Nicola and I, he began, unsure of how to explain. We know we shouldn't have, but then Nicola became pregnant and we couldn't get rid of her, David exclaimed quickly, looking down at the sleeping girl. Oh, David, you didn't, Walter asked, already knowing the answer. When? 4 years ago, just at the end of senior year, David replied slowly. She's 3 now. What happened? Walter asked, pulling David into the apartment and closing the door quickly behind them. She's powerful, Walter, very powerful, David began. The day she was born, the entire sky in North Arrington changed color. It was then I knew we were in trouble. Walter, she has the power of fire. What? Walter asked, his voice rising, making the little girl stir for the first time. David, I can't have her here. It's too dangerous. If they find out, they won't. Amelia is on it now, protecting us from being discovered by the council, David began. I've joined them, Walter. You're working for them? Walter asked in disgust. You're working for the enemy? It was the only way I could keep her safe, keep our family safe, David said, holding her closer to his chest. But now I can't keep that promise I made to Nicola. It's too dangerous for her to be here. I need you to look out for her. Me? Walter asked in alarm. I can't. I only just got my memories back. You must, David said, pushing the little girl into Walter's chest. I can't lose her, Walter. I'm not fit to be a father figure, Walter shook his head, pushing her back to David. I need you to do this. She needs you, Walter. Amelia is teaching Spencer how to help her as she grows. Anytime she is injured, he will be here to help heal her and take her memories of ever knowing. But with your power, you're the only one strong enough to help guide her. You're the only one Nicola and I trust. Please, David practically begged softly. What if I mess up? Walter asked, eyeing the sleeping girl, her features soft and angelic. I'll be there watching, and send Spencer right away, David said, handing the girl once again to Walter. With a second's hesitation, he reached out, taking her sleeping form into his, holding her bridal style. You're sure about this? Walter asked. Yes, David said, his voice cracking with emotion. Raise her like your own. Give her your last name. I will, Walter nodded, his expression going soft. I have to go, David said softly. Leaning forward, he kissed her forehead, whispering how much he loved her. Wait, Walter asked, just as David opened the front door. What's her name? Taking a deep breath, David smiled at the sleeping girl. Nadia, he said simply, before giving her one final look and leaving. You're safe with me, Nadia Taylor, Walter said, eyeing the girl lovingly. So that is the prologue. And if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link down below. And if you guys are interested too, I can read each chapter to you. I don't know if that would be something anyone would be interested in. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like someone reading the story is more interesting than like an audiobook. Then if you can't read it yourself, like if you're working or if you're busy or sometimes I like to listen to audiobooks because it's hard to find time to actually sit down and read the book. But like when you're working and stuff like that, sometimes it's nice to be able to like hear the story and stuff like that. So if you guys would be interested in something like that, I can go ahead and post something. Reading each chapter of this book. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's kind of how I go through editing. It's just going through and rereading it, and picking up whatever Grammarly picks up, like, take out this comma, do this, and so I kind of did that a little bit through here while I read it. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll leave a link down below to my WattPad profile and to this book so that you guys can see it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and questions or anything like that. Thanks. Bye.